Alright, you guys, here's a short little follow up with what I left out in the previous video. It was about Jesus calling the Pharisees as the generations of brood of vipers. And this I'm gonna keep it like a snippet, like real short. And even John the Baptist, the forerunner for Jesus Christ, also addressed them as brood of vipers. Now, here we go. This is what I thought. If people, they tell me, Jesus attended churches, you should go to church too. All right. Let's just try to think about it from my perspective, the same way that I try to get into my shoes if possible. When you think this, John the Baptist called them brood of vipers, and Jesus called them generation of brood of vipers. Then which church or which synagogue in those days they called it, right? So in which synagogue did Jesus actually go to? He didn't go to attend, he went there to exorcise them. For all I know. Okay, so that church was what now you would call a satanic church. Jesus went to a satanic church not to attend it. He wasn't a church member, he wasn't a member over there in the synagogue, but he very much made sure that he put his stand down and let them know, that they were wrong in everything that they were following, that they were hypocrites. Their way of teaching methods were not right. For all I know, some of them would have probably been following maybe Kabbalah, what they called it, the Kabbalah of the Jewish mysticism. It was by them. It was probably given by the serpent himself, the dragon, the subtle serpent of the Garden of Eden. Maybe it was given to these Pharisees, and Jesus knew that. For at that point of time, only Jesus would have recognized it. Not many, but maybe some. Like John the Baptist was able to, which is why he addressed them that way. And Jesus addressed them in the same way too. So Kabbalah is nothing but it's a vast esoteric people just like to give it a fancy name as esoteric knowledge, but it's not esoteric knowledge or anything like that. And I usually say what the devil teaches others, calling it and putting such fancy names such as esoteric knowledge and Luciferian doctrine, fancy. No, it's not. It's just alms which was thrown to him by the higher one. If I have to say it in Tamil, it will be even better. கடவுள் சைத்தானுக்கு பிச்சை போட்ட நாலேஜ் தான் அது. சீரியஸாக சொல்கிறேன், பிச்சை போட்டது. ஓகே, வாட் he throw in his arms is what he had. He's dancing, he's really making sure that he tarnishes every Christian's life. Seriously. So Jesus attended satanic church, not attended. Jesus was there to exorcise them and to teach them better, which they didn't give way to, but still Jesus never gave up. He was there to also save them. He was there to save the church members, if I may say, put it that way, if that's how you would understand. When he said that not one brick would be left, meaning it would all come tumbling down, he meant the churches of this day as well as the one that in ancient Israel, the synagogues. So you might want to watch out where you're going, sweetheart. If Jesus wanted to have a church of his own, if he wanted to build an architectural building, calling it a church, he would have done it when he resurrected. I mean, come on, he has finished everything that was prophesied in the Old Testament. Like they say, Old Testament is a foreshadow of the New. Testament, the New Covenant, then it's done. Finished. He was crucified. He ascended down to, descended down to hell, got the keys of Hades, the death, and resurrected on the third day. Was there for 40 days. He could have been here longer than 40 days. He could have just established one of his churches and called it even Jesus Christ, Church of Jesus Christ. He could have called that, or just Church of Jesus, and I'm sure he would have had a mega church of his own. But no, that was not his idea. That was not the notion that he had. That was not in his instinct to receive all that type of glory. He literally came down only to change them by heart. And he has done a very good job. Indeed, indirectly, if not directly, he speaks to people through the Holy Spirit. Yeah. So watch out where you go. You do not know if that is from Jesus or not, until and unless you are anointed with the Holy Spirit 24/7. Okay. So that's the last bit which I wanted to say with regards to, Jesus being, during his times, he always went to satanic church. Because if it had brood of vipers running it, then what do you think that church would be called? Obviously, right? It's not a synagogue. We don't even use that word anymore. Yeah, I doubt even. But yeah, maybe the Jews do. They need to get their slate right with Jesus. I feel that. And a lot of other things which I wanted to share with you. Very less time. But I shall.